So this is Rich Samanich. Yeah, he's a senior CWI, Certified Welding Inspector. And he's going to give us 10, 15, maybe 20 minutes of his expertise. Please give him your full attention and be quiet and respectful. And he's got a lot that he could teach you in many different categories, but we'll let him introduce what he's going to talk about. Good to have you, Rich.
Thanks, Nicole. One of the questions a lot of you have been asking me since I've been coming out here is, how do you set the machine? Which is a very important question, because you need to know where the machine settings are at so you can get the good welds that you need. The basic item that's needed to know on where you set the machine is how thick your base material is, your metal thickness. That's the main driving factor in any of the welding that we're doing here, whether it be TIG welding, stick welding, MIG welding, or flux core. So your settings are always driven by the thickness of the material. Of course, the thicker the material, the hotter your machine's got to be. And most of your hobby welders, so I'll give you some hints that'll help you. And for the professional welders that have to do code work, their life is made easier because they have to have what's called the welding procedure specification. And the welding procedure specification is nothing but a set of instructions for the welder. It tells him what filler material he's got to use, what the machine's got to be set on, how fast he's got to travel. So he has or she has all the information that they need. Whereas hobby welders, say in your garage, you don't have that. I'm going to show you some tricks that help you out, and also tell you where to find that information if you want. Because a lot of you ask me too, where can I learn more? I'm loving what I'm doing here, and I want to go learn more when I'm not here on Thursday nights. So I'll give you some hints where to get some good information for free or for very cheap. One of the first things you want to know is, let's start with stick welding. Your stick electrode comes in different diameters. This is a 16th inch. The most common one is an 1/8 inch, but there's also 3/32, and they go up to 7/32, up to 1/2 inch. There's some crazy welders out there that weld with their like 3-foot long electrodes doing 1500 amps. You got to really be dressed in leathers for that. But with a stick electrode, it's really easy. We got to do some basic math, and I'll take you back to some school math. And I'm not very good at math, that's why I'm a welder. But so your 16th inch tungsten, you got to take that and convert it to decimal. Everybody remembers how to do that, right?
Yep.
To break out your cell phone and punch it in the calculator is the easiest way. But you divide 16 into 1, and that comes out to, say, roughly 0.062. Okay? So, a quick way for you to remember now is, what do I set my machine at? Get rid of the decimal, and in this case you don't need a 0, and there you are at 62 amps. That will put you in the ballpark for this electrode right here. Real quick, simple, down and dirty. Do the same thing for 1/8 inch electrode, stick rod. Anybody know what that equals?
0.125.
0.125. Again, what do? We take the decimal, get rid of that. Now we got 125 amps.
Beautiful.
And there it is, down and dirty, quick and simple. It's not exactly perfect, but it's a lot better than you spending a half hour trying to set the machine. And if the call will tell you, for an 1/8 inch, say 7018, you really want around 110. So you are right pretty much in the ballpark at 125. You're only 15 amps off of where you should be. So like I said, it's not exact, but it'll get you there really quick. The same will work with your TIG rod. Your tungsten electrode comes in different diameters, from 20 thousandths up to 5/32, your most common ones. So if you're using 16th inch tungsten like we're doing over here tonight, you're going to be around 62 amps is where you should be. Again, not exact, but really close. You don't have to spend hours playing with your machine. Now, say you forget what I taught you tonight, you can always go to welding distributor or go to WeldComm.com. They sell what's called these welding calculators. So they have one here for stick, like I just showed you here, and it'll, old school method, no batteries needed.
Nice.
So you select on here, say you want 7018, You're going to do 1/8" filler rod. You slide up where a black line comes up, and it'll tell you up here your range is 110 to 165 amps. Again, right where we said. So this is real easy for stick welding. They have one for TIG. Same method. You select the material you're going to weld, how thick it is, and it'll tell you what amps. Gets a little more complicated when you get into flux core welding, but they have one for flux core welding here. So it'll tell you where to set your machine. Unfortunately, what they usually tell you is what your wire feed speed's got to be. So let's say we're going to weld a 1/4" thick material with 45 thousandths diameter wire in our machine. It's telling us we have to set the machine at 255 inches per minute. Did you see a gauge on the machine and telling you usually how fast your wire is coming out of your gun?
Yeah, 3.
3, right. So another quick way, more math involved, is you take your gun and you squeeze the trigger for 6 seconds. Then you measure the amount of wire that came out in 6 seconds and you multiply that by 10. And that'll tell you how many inches per minute you're running.
Beautiful.
Or you can run it for 10 seconds and multiply it by 6, whatever's easier for you. And that'll get you your wire feed speed for your wire. Now they make it even easier on the new MIG machines that you buy for your house or something. You open up the door and there'll be charts in there. And based on the type of gas you have, the size wire you have in the machine, and again, the base material, what thickness it is, the chart in the machine will tell you how to set the machine. Because each machine nowadays, they're all different on how, like you said, they have 1, 2, 3s or A, B, C, D. So that chart will tell you, because the manufacturers played with that machine and set it up. So you know on that chart, and again, they're going to put you in a ballpark, but it's going to be really close because they spend a lot of time setting that chart up. So the charts in the machine will help you. Some machines, like the TIG machines and stick machines, will have a book. You get an owner's manual, and you look in the owner's manual, and they'll have charts in it. And if you don't have any of those, you can always go to your wire manufacturers. Your main wire manufacturers, like say Lincoln Electric, ESAB, or Miller, puts out all kinds of books. Here's a stick welding electrode guide, and it'll have all the information in there, tell you how to set your amps for the thicknesses and what joints you're doing, whether you're doing vertical up, overhead, flat, so it's all in there. This one's for aluminum MIG welding, and this is for regular MIG welding. So you get a lot of these books for free. Yes, sir.
Yeah, well, I've noticed if all the numbers are rubbed off or the plate's off, everything's off, just go center on everything and then go from there. It's better than far right or far left.
Yep. There's lots of little tricks you can learn over the years, but these are some of the things that'll help you find the information. Also, the American Weld Society sells different kinds of specifications. This one here just happens to be recommended practice for gas shielded arc welding of aluminum and aluminum alloy pipe. And then here are charts that'll tell you based on your pipe diameters and thicknesses what your amps and your travel speed should be. A great book Lincoln Electric Arc Welding Foundation puts out. This is called their Procedure Handbook of Arc Welding. This book is only $25. So I don't know if any of you have purchased textbooks in colleges or recently, and you're talking maybe hundreds of dollars for a book like this. This book has awesome information in here for all your welding procedures. They have pictures of your joints. They'll tell you what your electrode should be, what your travel speed should be, what your amp should be, and it takes the guesswork out of it all. And this one, like I said, is 25 bucks.
Who sells that one?
It's the James Lincoln Welding Foundation.
Nice.
You go to their website, it's, I think it's JLF. But yeah, just do a search for Lincoln Electric Foundation, and they have books, they have DVDs you can get also. Now another great set of books with a lot of information in it. Years ago, when I bought this, it was $25. It's now 100 bucks. But what's nice now on the internet is Miller has put a lot of these books. This is gas, metal arc welding, pulse. And in here I'll have all your parameters and stuff that you need to know. And a lot of these books are now free downloads on the internet. So you can download them PDF form and you don't have to pay for them. Yep. But to get this whole kit is 100 bucks. There's all kinds of good books in here on welding. Another thing Lincoln has come out with and it's great for you hobbyists because it doesn't give you a whole lot of the weird metals like I'm used to welding and stuff. You can download it on your Apple phones. A lot of people have your Apple phones, your Android phones. So instead of using these welding calculators I showed you, they're down here somewhere. So basically you have the welding calculators on your phone. So you can look it up on your phone. And that's downloadable through Google Play or the iPhone apps for Apple. And that's free. So take advantage of the internet, go out there and search Miller Welds, has tons of free information on it. Lincoln Electric has tons of free information. ESOB the same. And but simple little tricks like this will save you hours of frustration trying to set your machines. Yes, DeCall.
Well, I'm sure that I'm stating the obvious, but why does it matter, all these books and all this technical stuff? Well, people's lives really can be on the line. So if you're doing some weld that's too cold or not hot enough, or even too hot, or there could be some flaws in your weld, all these books will help you so you got a better weld, right? So people's lives are on the line for your welding every day, you know. Heavy equipment, heavy beams, structural, pipe. I mean, you have a leak in a pipe, okay, the whole road is going to cave in, you know, could kill somebody or hurt somebody for life. So there's a lot of sensitive issues here. Even one little pinhole could affect a lot of things. So you got to. That's why we all want to learn a little bit more about how to improve the quality, get our settings right. It's awesome that Rich is teaching us this stuff.
Yes, amperage, like you say, is very critical. In certain materials, you don't want to put too many amps and then you destroy the material. Most of you will probably never ever see it, but there's materials out there called Hastelloy. There's a company doing a mine outside of Las Vegas. They're putting Hastelloy piping in. And those welds are so critical, you got to keep your amps as low as possible and only do stringer beads. Weave beads are not allowed on Hastelloy. The material can crack out. And this stuff is like $29, a couple inches, I think it is.
Oh, wow.
So you don't want to be screwing up a whole bunch of welds. So it's real important they stick with low amperage and stringer beads. A couple of you guys were asking me tonight on what's the best way to do pipe welds. Do you do wide weave beads or you do a bunch of stringer beads? I don't know if you, a bunch of you are new to this, so you don't know what a wide weave bead is or stringer bead is, right? All right, let me do a quick, so let's say we have a butt joint here. Not the world's best art, this should line up. We got high-low already and we haven't even lined the slates up yet. So that's our butt joint right there. This could be a pipe or a flat plate. So the first thing you want to do is, the most important weld in any joint is going to be your root pass. So you do your root pass in here, and if you get good penetration, you tie it in like that. And when you're doing like say 1/8 inch 70-18 or 60-10 on your root pass, you usually want to drop this down to say 110. Then when you're doing your filler passes in here, you'll do a stringer bead here, then you come over here and run another stringer bead. So now you got 3 beads in there. You might have to do 3 more. Well, we're still not filled up yet. So we have to come over here and do. So that's a bunch of stringer beads. So each one of these represents 1 bead you've welded across that plate. So if we're doing 1/8 inch, say stick rod in here, we do 110 amps there. We can crank this up on these filler passes, usually 5 to 10 more amps. We might be even able to get up to 125 to run these fill passes. Then we'll drop it back down to 110 amps on the cover passes. And that way you don't get a bunch of undercut.
Nice idea, yeah, a little bit cooler on the,
And the welding inspector will disqualify your weld if you get a lot of undercut on your weld. So you can adjust these as you weld on thick plates. You can usually jump it up on your fill passes, but again, this is a bunch of stringers. Now, if you look at some old